Good morning, my dear students. I hope you all are safe and secure. Stay home, stay safe. Welcome to today's English class. In the previous class, we have started our Unit 6 and completed the 2 lessons. Reading A, the story of Ikat, and reading B, the earthen goblet. Today, let us discuss and analyze the C reading Maestro with a Mission. This is a story of Dr. Vempati Chinnasatyam, who dedicated his life for the cause of Kuchipudi. We all know that Kuchipudi is one of the 8 major Indian classical dances. It originated in a village named Kuchipudi in the Indian state of Andhra Pradesh. Kuchipudi is a dance drama performance with its roots in the ancient Hindu Sanskrit text of Natya Shastra. Maestro with a Mission. So before entering into the lesson, children, I would like to tell the meaning of Maestro and mission at the end of the lesson. The 18-year-old lad, a dropout from the school, left his house with just 2 rupees in order to realize a dream. So here the 18-year-old lad, meaning of lad, a boy or young man. A boy who dropped out from the school, who just completed his school. He left his house with just 2 rupees. He is having only 2 rupees in his hand. With the 2 rupees, he left his house in order to realize a dream. To fulfill his dream, he left his house after his completion of the school with only 2 rupees. It was the passionate dream he was driven by. So, it was the passionate, meaning of passionate, having, showing, or caused by strong feelings or beliefs. So he is having a strong belief, strong dream that he was driven by. He wanted to elevate, meaning of elevate, to rise. He wanted to raise the status of an art. He wanted to elevate, he wanted to raise the status of an art form. He had learned from his great gurus. Whatever he had learned from his great gurus, the art form, he would like to raise the status of it. He decided to dedicate his life for the enrichment of that art form. So he decided to dedicate. Sincerely, he wanted to dedicate his life for the enrichment, meaning of enrichment, the action of improving. He wanted to improve that art form. The lad left his house for Madras, now called Chennai, about 400 kilometers away from his place. So the lad left his house for Madras. He left his house for which place there? Madras. And Madras, now it is called Chennai. We all know that Madras is called, now it is called Chennai. It is about 400 kilometers away from his place. So how many kilometers it is away from his place? It is 400 kilometers away from his place. The place where he started was a village about 50 kilometers away from Vijayawada in Krishna district. So there it was one of the place where he started. He started that was a village. It is about 50 kilometers away from Vijayawada. It is about 50 kilometers away from Vijayawada in Krishna district. He walked all the way. On his long way, he fed himself on plantains and water. So on the long way, he fed himself on plantains, meaning of plantains, bananas and water. So he had only bananas and water. Finding the condition of the lad, a station master at Venkatachalam offered him a full meal. So he is finding the condition of the lad, seeing at the condition of the lad, a station master at Venkatachalam, he offered him a full meal. So the station master questioned here, where are you going, dear? The station master asked. So the station master questioned to whom here? Where are you? Who is you here? The lad. he questioned the lad that, "Where are you going, dear?" No reply came, so the lad did not give any answer. The lad looked at the endless sky. So the lad just looked to the endless sky. We all know that the sky is endless. So in the same way, just he did not give the answer and just he is looking to the endless sky. The lad was Vempati Chinna Satyam. So my dear children, who was the lad here? The lad was Vempati Chinna Satyam, who later came to know, known as Dr. Vempati Chinna Satyam, and the place where he started from was Kuchipudi, and the art form he was passionate about was Kuchipudi. So who was the lad here? What was the name of the lad here? Vempati Chinna Satyam. So later he was also known as Dr. Vempati Chinna Satyam. And the place where he started from was, what was the art he started there? Kuchipudi. And the art form he was passionate. He was knowing, he was strongly believing about was Kuchipudi. So what was the art form he was learning there? Kuchipudi. All this story about Satyam and Kuchipudi becomes meaningless if we really don't know certain facts about Kuchipudi. So if we don't know the certain facts about Vempati Chinna Satyam and Kuchipudi, all this story becomes meaningless. That means it doesn't have the meaning. The dance form originated in the village of Kuchipudi. For a long time, the art was performed at temples at the time of annual festivals and in streets on the demand of the people. Meaning of originated, have a specified beginning. So the dance form has a specified beginning in the village of Kuchipudi. In the beginning, the art was limited to temples. Only it is performed at the temples at the annual festivals and in streets, but on the demand of the people. On the demand of the people, the art, the Kuchipudi, was performed at temples at the time of annual festivals and in streets. Initially, it was a male-oriented dance form. It was for males-oriented dance. Even female roles were played by them. So men used to play the female roles also. What a surprise. Great gurus like Vedantam Lakshmi Narayana, Chinta Krishnamurti enriched and transformed it and welcomed women to play different roles. So the great gurus like Vedantam Lakshmi Narayana, Chinta Krishnamurti, they enriched and transformed. Meaning of enrich, the action of improving. They improved and transformed, brought a change that women also can play different roles. They produced many dance dramas and choreographed several solo items. Meaning of choreograph, art of arranging steps for dance. So these choreographers, these great gurus, what did they do? They choreographed for several solo items. Thus the transformation of dance was complete. So thus the change in the dance was complete. It was different from the days when men played the female roles. So it brought a lot of change from the days when the men also played the female roles. That means men completely got a change. They were looked as a female. Now women play even male roles. But now what happened? But now and then the women are also playing even male roles. Yet it was not much popular and it was not recognized on par with other classical dances till 1958. But it was not much popular. Where women are playing the male roles, it was not much popular and it was not recognized also on par with. Meaning of on par with, equal with, as important as. So we can understand that when the men played the female roles, it was a great attract to everybody. But when the female played the male roles, it was not much popular at other classical dances till 1958. And till 1958, it did not become much recognized or much popular. Satyam was too big in his aspiration and too small in his achievement. So here Vempati Chinna Satyam was too big in his aspiration. Meaning of aspiration, desire, and he is too small in his achievements. He never thinks about his achievements. He is too small. That means he did not receive any achievements. Only he is big in his desires. He faced many hardships in his childhood. So he faced many difficulties. Meaning of hardships, difficulties in his childhood. He had a strong desire to learn Kuchipudi. He had a strong desire. He had a strong passion that he wanted to learn Kuchipudi. In spite of that, he was humiliated by a teacher in his village. Instead of that, he was humiliated. Meaning of humiliated, insulted. Insulted by his teacher in his village. The teacher said, "Don't attempt to learn Kuchipudi again. You are unfit for it." So the teacher said to Vempati Chinna Satyam that you are unfit for Kuchipudi. So don't learn it. He made this comment in the presence of his friends. So he made this comment. He told, it was happened in the presence of his friends. Some ridiculed him. Meaning of ridiculed, laughed at him. Some of them laughed at Satyam. But some others sympathized with him. So some others, they felt sympathy for him. And then his father died. At that time, his father also died. He had to feed 4 sisters and mother. So he has to take care of his 4 sisters and his mother. Beyond this, Satyam was interested in nothing but his favorite art form with some rudimentary knowledge of it. So Satyam was only interested of his favorite art form with some rudimentary, meaning of rudimentary, fundamental knowledge of it. He wanted to know about his favorite art. That is hardly of any use to a person with a lofty desire. So meaning of lofty, very high and impressive. So that is hardly of any use to a person with a lofty, with a very high and impressive desire. He wanted to know about his favorite art form. So this is the part 1 of Maestro with a mission lesson. Let us once again go through the lesson. Vempati left his house at the age of 18. He walked all the way to Chennai from his village. The distance he walked was nearly 400 kilometers. Vempati Chinna Satyam was born in a poor family in Kuchipudi village. From his childhood, he had a strong desire to take the Kuchipudi dance form to the status of a classical dance. Kuchipudi dance form originated in the village Kuchipudi. In the beginning, the art was limited to temple fairs. Men used to perform the roles of women also. Some great gurus reformed it and transformed it. Still, it was not recognized as a classical form of dance. Let us go through the glossary of the lesson. Meaning of lad, a boy or young man. Meaning of passionate, having, showing or caused by strong feelings or beliefs. Meaning of elevate, to raise. Meaning of enrichment, the action of improving. Meaning of plantains, bananas. Meaning of passion, strong feeling. Meaning of transform, change. Meaning of choreography, art of arranging steps for a dance. Meaning of on a par with, equal with, as important as. Meaning of aspiration, desire. Meaning of hardship, difficulty. Meaning of humiliate, insult. Meaning of ridicule, laugh at. Meaning of rudimentary, fundamental. Meaning of lofty, very high and impressive. Meaning of ardent, serious. Meaning of clutch, control. Meaning of insignificance, not to be. Meaning of oblivion, state of being, unnoticed. Now let us go through the question answers. The 18-year-old lad, a dropout from the school, left his house with just 2 rupees in order to realize a dream. What was the dream here? So what was the dream here, children? His dream was to elevate the status of an art form, Kuchipudi. He had learnt from his great gurus. he decided to dedicate his life for the enrichment of that art form, isn't it? He wanted to dedicate his life for his dream, Kuchipudi. Second question. With only 2 rupees in his pocket, Vempati Chinna Satyam reached Chennai. What made it possible? What made it possible, children? Yes, Vempati Chinna Satyam left his house with only 2 rupees in his pocket to elevate the status of Kuchipudi. It was his passionate dream. His passion, determination and dedication might have made him reach the goal. How was Kuchipudi performed at the beginning? Name the place of its origin. For a long time, the art was performed at temples at the time of annual festivals and in streets on the demand of the people. Isn't it? At the beginning, the Kuchipudi used to perform at temples on the demand of the people. Initially, it was a male-oriented dance form. Even female roles were played by men. This dance form originated in Kuchipudi. Coming to the fourth question. Why do you think even female roles were played by men in those days? Why do you think, children? Because in those days, the women were not allowed to perform the roles, isn't it? In the beginning, the women were not allowed to perform the roles. They were not encouraged to learn Kuchipudi. Initially, it was a male-oriented dance form. So even female roles were played by men in those days. Is it clear, children? Read the lesson once again carefully, children, and write the given glossary and comprehension in your classwork and send it to my given WhatsApp number. Thank you.